this is not some nutty idea. You're not joking. You really are running, seeking the Green Party nomination, yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, why are you doing this?
But I'm glad you used the words nutty because I'm also a nut farmer in Hawaii, so
you are
it's
still
nutty
doing
that I'm nuts about my nuts. Nuts are a great way for people to get protein, and you know, if people were to get their protein from nuts rather than beef, well, there wouldn't be any global warming or any of that problem because there'd be enough grain and stuff also to feed every hungry person.
Okay.
So, you know, the Green Party is kind of out there, but it's my kind of out there.
Okay, so, and you are nuts about representing the Green Party. Why are you trying to encourage people in California for that presidential primary to vote for you instead of voting for Obama or Romney?
Well, because here's why. Because it's a free vote. Because each of those candidates, you know, are already, you know, shoo-ins to get their party's nomination, and so it's not taking any votes away from Obama or Romney. But I have this message that Monday in California, that's you know, tomorrow, is the last day that people can register as Greens. And why I encourage Democrats to register as Greens is because, you know, you can still vote for Obama, but you can send a message to the Democratic Party, as can Republicans who want to register as Greens. And I think there's a lot of stuff in common that both can agree on.
So what's that message?
It sends a message
what
to
would
Washington.
Be that message?
The message is to all of Washington, D.C., that the American people are tired of the corrupt two-party system that, you know, is totally irrelevant to, you know, the American people, because both of those parties have indeed marginalized 90-some% of the American people from each of their parties. So that's what the Greens are about. It's also about, you know, bringing progressive issues, in specifically the 10 key values of the Green Party, which I think both people on the right and the left of the aisle can agree on. And it's a party of solutions, a party of small yet efficient government, and you know, of a good, you know, being good to Mother Earth and thinking of alternative ways to make things happen besides the ones that got us in this big mess.
And some of the other issues that you're hoping to promote as part of your platform, ending the involvement in foreign wars, Afghanistan.
Yeah, all wars. I'm for what I try to live my life according to what I think is right, and what I think is right is a whole new. I want us to stop and start over with a new kind of system from bottom to top that eliminates, you know, a kind of system that is the end to slavery, war, and usury, all the kind of capital sins that brought us here. And if we would do just a fraction of those, there wouldn't be any more problems. They'd all be solved. So I'm for like solving solutions, and one of my suggestions is a debt jubilee, and that is to ask the bankers of the Fed, who control everything in this country, and are in cahoots with those who control everything in the world, to look at the idea of debt forgiveness, and
especially as it pertains to student loan debt.
Yeah, that's in the United States, to forgive student loans as a stimulus to the housing market. I'm just applying common sense to it because, well, a lot of these kids have moved in with their parents because they have these huge debts. They can't pay off their student loans. And believe me, the parents are not thrilled about it either. And they'd like to see their kids move out. And the fact is the kids could use that same money to put a down payment on a house, which would bring housing starts, which is, you know, what stimulates our economy and brings back our middle class. So for bankers, the wealthiest and most powerful among us, to like join in with us instead of being our adversaries, and you know, put their patriotism above their profits, and join with the American people to do their part in you know, forgiving a portion of this debt, and asking themselves, is there a way that you could increase debt forgiveness to a mere 1% instead of a 0%?
Okay.
And I just want to appeal to, you know, what is good and decent in all Americans, that we definitely have to solve our problems and help our people.
You say you want to legalize marijuana, close America's foreign military bases, do away with the Federal Reserve, among other things. But if you don't win, you know, the race to the White House, do you worry
I like that
at all?
those are small points.
Those are small points?
No, they're huge, actually, so, you know.
Yeah,
those are all huge
that's part
points.
of your platform. Okay, so if you were
Yes,
not
it
to
is.
win, however, you were to get the nomination for your party, do you worry at all that this might promote kind of a repeat of what we saw in 2000, that there would be a splintered vote, that potentially the election could be decided by the U.S. Supreme Court again, or at least with their participation again?
You know, I'm glad you asked me that question, Frederica.
Okay, I'm glad you're glad.
I think what we need to do is we need to have paper ballots, and I think that that's the real lesson, not whether, you know, Ralph Nader ran or that there's a third party that actually stands for progressive issues, which it does, and there's 10 key values everyone should take a look at. But it's really about paper ballots and how the votes are secured and how the votes are counted, and I think that was the problem, not Ralph Nader.
Okay, and if it comes to the point where there is a victory speech, are we going to see, you know, Roseanne Barr? I know this is a very, you know, this is a serious run, but, you know, you are a comedian too, and we've heard your rendition of the national anthem.
I'm the only serious comedian in this race, Frederica.
Would we hear it again? Seriously?
Would you hear what?
The national anthem.
Oh my God!
Your rendition.
You're cutting that out. You know what? I'm going to speak to that if you'll let me do that. Now, I updated that on my Roseanne's Nuts cable show, and people have come up to me since then to say they loved my second rendition. You know what? I think the lesson here is people make mistakes, and then they, you know, after they've apologized 9,000 times, they should be forgiven, and it should be forgotten. And you can, again, stop and start over again and do things better, which I indeed did in my second rendition. I'm very proud of it. My grandson was with me.
Oh.
I sounded real good, and I encourage everybody to go over there on YouTube and see me sing in a real respectful version.
Oh, okay, because we do have a rendition. I'm hopefully, is this going to be the rendition number 1 or rendition number 2, people?
Number 2 is the better
Okay,
take.
number 2. Let's hear it.
I like to be remembered.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
I like it. That's beautiful. And that's a hard song to sing.
Well, I like the idea that you can get better over the years if you try and you practice. You can get better.
Agreed. Practice makes perfect. Well, of course, all the best in your pursuit of the Green Party nomination.
Thank you so much.
And the run for the White House.
June
Roseanne
5th,
Barr.
vote for me.
Okay.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Roseanne Barr.